Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. We're bringing you this live broadcast from CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Prime Time studio. The face-off over the Constitution is escalating with barbs flying in a politically charged up election season, and that's a top debate today. A comment by sitting BJP MP Lallu Singh, who said to amend or make a new constitution more than two-third majority is needed, continues to haunt the BJP. Now, his video with this comment that went viral last month, since then the BJP and the Congress have been at loggerheads over this constitution change debate. BJP candidate from Rajasthan's Nagaur and former Union Minister Anant Hegde have also made similar comments. Now, the party led by the Prime Minister himself have been clarifying this, knowing fully well the potential damage even a suggestion on ground that BJP will remove backward classes reservation can have. They've also been pointing out instances from history when Congress actually benefited Muslims particularly over OBCs in India, and that's another hot debate this season. But there is no end to the back and forth despite multiple clarifications that have come in. Rahul Gandhi held up the constitution while attacking BJP leaders in a rally in Madhya Pradesh's Bhind yesterday. He said constitution is the soul of the poor of country. No one can touch it. There's no power in the world who can touch it, and that BJP is dreaming. Remember, the Prime Minister had said that even if Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, the architect of the constitution himself, wanted to, he could not end reservations. The constitution flashpoint has captured the political center stage. But is it pure fear-mongering really? Or is there any real danger that the constitution as we know it will end, or that all reservations will go? We'll take that question to our guests in just a bit. Despite many clarifications from either side, the constitution debate, as I said, is not ending. Let me just play out three of the most recent comments that have come in. In the middle of this controversy, of course, is the BJP. But what did the Congress's Wayanad candidate Rahul Gandhi said in the last 24 hours? He said the BJP will tear apart the constitution. Home Minister says they are not receiving any SC/ST or OBC reservation. But Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav has also commented about how the Bahujans particularly have understood what the BJP's conspiracy is. They go on to say that while the BJP will want to do this, Congress says Manrega, reservation for poor and the Dalits will go. The Home Minister again is clarifying that the Congress is spreading rumours, but remember, this fear is being spread on ground. Whether that's right or wrong is the debate we'll have in just a bit. But for example, the SP chief has also said if BJP comes to power, they will change the constitution, particularly the issue of reservations. Now, the topic of reservations is not simple or black and white in India. It's been a tricky subject throughout our independent history. While the opposition has been mounting this attack on the BJP, the latter has also hit back with historical references, as I said, that undermine Congress's current OBC pitch. So BJP MP Brij Lal, for example, highlighted how former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru's own letter to Chief Ministers in 1961 shows his dislike for reservations themselves. Karnataka Congress was the first to bring Muslim reservation, and of course those reservations have been carved out from what was the overall OBC reservations in these states. Karnataka is not alone. Even in undivided Andhra, reservation was given to Muslims from SC/ST OBC quota, who was ruling all of those years. Congress government has also been accused of not ensuring benefits for the backward classes in what has been called minority institutions like the Delhi's Jamia Millia Islamia or UP's Aligarh Muslim University. And the BJP also hit back at SP chief Akhilesh Yadav, citing how he demoted over 1 lakh scheduled caste employees after taking over as UP chief minister. So are they ones to talk about with their track record? Now, the changing constitution debate is one of the hottest ones this election season. Opposition has somehow found a very potent weapon against the BJP in this. But the question does arise if this is fear-mongering. Similarly, for the opposition, the saving democracy pitch has been a big one this season as well. We'll only know once the results are announced just what impact these very rhetorical, more intellectual debates have as far as voting is concerned. For the BJP, led by the Prime Minister himself, they have hammered Congress and others on those Muslim quotas. Many opposition ruled states have this, and they have alleged the Congress wants to do this nationally. The economic promises of the Congress manifesto, particularly wealth equity or survey, have also created a storm, along with the mention at least of the inheritance tax that has created further worry for the Congress party. But we will of course focus on the barbs flying thick and fast as far as the constitution flashpoint is concerned. Is it pure fear-mongering or is there any real danger?
नेताओं ने कहा है कि अगर चुनाव में जीत होगी तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को बदल दिया जाएगा, रद्द कर दिया जाएगा।
ये कांग्रेस पार्टी को जन्म से ही ये हमारे संविधान के प्रति नफरत है।
एक तरफ वो लोग हैं जो संविधान की रक्षा करना चाहते हैं, दूसरी तरफ वो लोग हैं जो संविधान के भक्षक हैं।
कहां से संविधान बदलने की बात आती है? मोदी जी बाबा साहब भीमराव अंबेडकर जी के संविधान को सिर पे रख करके लेके जा रहे थे। इन्होंने तो बाबा साहब भीमराव अंबेडकर का चित्तापान कांग्रेस ने किया, किसी और ने किया ही नहीं होगा।
Going across to our guest joining us, Syed Zafar Islam, national spokesperson of the BJP, Arshpreet Kadial of the Congress party joining us. With me also Rashid Kidwai, author and senior journalist, and Desh Ratam Nigam, lawyer and political analyst on the show. I do thank you all for your time. Zafar Islam, let me begin with you. Not the first time that the BJP is facing the charge. It may be political rhetoric, but it's very potent political rhetoric on the ground as the BJP is realizing. Once again, yesterday, Rahul Gandhi made the charge that you're going to take away reservations, you're going to change the constitution completely. Akhilesh Yadav is sending down the same message in Uttar Pradesh. We've seen Yogi Adityanath, other ministers in UP come out and clarify this. It seems the opposition has really found a weapon against you.
Not at all. I mean, this is your or maybe somebody's wrong perception. The ground reality is something very different, that every single voter wants to vote for development, for Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and for better India and for their own welfare. And this is what we have demonstrated last 10 years. The Honorable Prime Minister has demonstrated that how he can take India to greater heights, how he can safeguard the interests of the common man on the street. This is what we have done. They are misleading because they know for sure that the people's perception about our government is extremely positive. There is an element of receptiveness in whatever the Honorable Prime Minister speaks. And they know that instead of them, they are being dumped by the people of this great country and they are going to vote for the
So are you
Prime
saying
Minister
you're not worried? Zafar Islam, are you saying you're not worried about the fact that this message is being taken across, at least certainly in North India, that the reservations are going to be done away with by the BJP? The Prime Minister himself has had to clarify this, but that messaging or that attack from the opposition is not ending.
Shivani ji, they have no other issues to discuss. They are trying to create this issue, but there is absolutely no receptiveness as far as people is concerned. They're trying to mislead the people. Fact is that everyone knows that the Honorable Prime Minister has very candidly said that even Baba Ambedkar ji, if he wants to change today, he will not be able to change the constitution, and nobody can touch the reservation.
Okay.
So everything has been said out and open. Everything is out and open for everyone to see. It is And for the, let me just tell you one thing. Since 2014, they are spreading these rumors. They are trying to mislead the people. In 2019, we won the election handsomely. 2017, we won the election handsomely. Unprecedented result. 2022, unprecedented result.
Okay.
And 2024, they will be completely wiped out.
Actually, that's not a bad point.
8080 in UP.
8080 in UP. We'll see about that. But you've also got that 400 Par slogan and nationally. But I'll come to that in just a bit. But, you know, Ashpreet, the point that Zafar Islam makes is right. You know, you see the opposition messaging against Narendra Modi at one point of time, or Narendra Modi-led BJP government at the center since 2014. The essence of that message hasn't changed. That, you know, democracy will end, secularism will end, the constitution will go. And people have seen this for the last 10 years. Does this message not have diminishing returns?
Not at all, Shivani. The very fact that we are debating upon this issue and you are anchoring it and CNN is doing it means that it is relevant, means that people are seeing it, people are understanding that the Bharatiya Janata Party is against Constitution. This election is between two alliances, Shivani. One is the India Alliance that wants to save democracy, wants to save the Constitution of India. And the non-democratic alliance that wants to do away with the very Constitution that brought India about. And the Bharatiya Janata Party, number one, has a pattern. They have a history to it. First is when Mr. Modi said that there are intruders in the country, that बच्चे जिनके ज़्यादा होते हैं उनको आपके जवारात दिए जाएंगे. That was an attack on our constitution. That was an attack on our preamble, the introduction to the Constitution of India. And I quote for the Bharatiya Janata Party to know what it says. We, the people of India, socialist, sovereign, secular, democratic republic.
But that was an amendment. It's actually quite ironical you mentioned that, because that was an amendment at the peak of emergency.
The fact of the matter is that the Bharatiya Janata Party has violated that. The fact of the matter is that the Bharatiya Janata Party has undermined that, not for the first time. The second instance is, you remember, Supreme Court 1 is the guardian of the Constitution of India, and the word of the Supreme Court is the law of the land. But when the Supreme Court struck electoral bonds as unconstitutional, Mr. Modi said, success story hai. It was the BJP's word against the Supreme Court's word, the guardian of the Constitution. Are they challenging the Supreme Court? Number two, not just that. When the Supreme Court said in an order that CJ is to be made a part of the selection committee, they bypassed the guardian of the Constitution by doing that. And when there was an order of the Supreme Court regarding the powers of the Delhi government, they again made a law and bypassed the Honorable Supreme Court.
So, you're pointing out about, okay, I get that. But, you know, the particular danger in the Congress's or the India Bloc's messaging on the Constitution debate this election is the suggestion, and I don't know where it has come from, but there is a suggestion that somehow reservations will go. Now, where has the Congress picked this up from? Are you not guilty of fear-mongering, which you may accuse the BJP of, let's say on your manifesto, but it seems like both parties are doing it?
No, not at all. See, first and foremost, it is the Constitution that ensures reservation. It is the Constitution that ensures the protection of Dalits, of OBCs, of SCs, of STs, of women, of every single person that lives in the country. Article 21, which is right to life and personal liberty. You remember, Shivani, when Manipur happened, Mr. Modi didn't say a word for 79 days, did not visit Manipur, but he went to Rajasthan because it was an election-going state. That was a violation of Article 21, right to life and personal liberty. When they throw away journalists and put them behind bars, impose...
But reservations, Ashpreet, reservations. Why this suggestion that reservations will go? From where have you got this?
From the last 10 years, the country has been demanding caste census. The Bharatiya Janata Party has not done that. That goes on to suggest, number one, that they are against reservation, that they're against OBCs, are against Dalits, and the Bharatiya Janata Party is exposed. And therefore, the thing that they're accusing us of is what the Bharatiya Janata Party does best.
Okay. Let me bring in our other two guests also. I'll come back to our political guests in just a bit. Deshrattam Nigam, is this something that could hurt the BJP? The Congress feels that their record is such that the people may be wary that somehow reservations will go. I know here and there some RSS past quotes have been quoted to kind of drive home this point that, see, this is what their fountainhead believes. Is there a real danger that the public could perceive? I'm not suggesting the BJP has promised that or is going to do that or it's on their agenda, but the public could perceive that danger and the BJP is sensing that danger.
Shivani, let me make it very clear that the RSS had never said. What he meant at that point of time was the benefits of reservation are not reaching everybody, and therefore there is a need to look into it so that benefit reaches everyone. That was the reason. Even today, the benefits of reservation have not gone to the last. BJP comes into the picture where they send delivery of their schemes directly to the people, whether they are under reservation or not under reservation. It was the BJP which gave 10% economically weaker section quota to the people. So they are not there to remove reservation, they are there to give to the people who are actually needy. And remember, BJP, believing in true federalism, gave the right to decide OBC caste to the states. Earlier, the center was deciding, and this is where the West Bengal and Karnataka misused this OBC concept and gave reservation to the Muslims. Entire Muslims in Karnataka have been given that reservation. So the misuse is being done by the Congress, not by the BJP. In fact, believes in the reservation, and I have given the examples that. In 1975, that was the only time when the constitution was destroyed and trashed. And the opposition parties which are enjoying the fruits of democracy, fruits of our electoral process, are themselves attacking the very same electoral process which allows them to contest elections and win the elections. When they win the elections, the EVM is perfect. When they do not win the election, the EVM is back. This is the narrative that they are trying to build. And let me tell you, from the ground, as I see and move around, there is no resonance to all this, what is being brought out.
Okay.
I mean, that's the actual fact. And instead of having an alternative vision to BJP's development agenda, this rhetoric is being brought out to counter the development agenda. But from the ground reports that I have, there is no resonance on the ground.
Rashid Kidwai, the question that also goes to the opposition as the BJP is doing, particularly the Congress that has ruled for 55 years at the national level in our history of 75 years, is that look at your own track record. You're carving out quota within quota for a religious minority. The Constitution doesn't talk about a religious minority reservation, but you're doing it. You've violated the Constitution during an emergency. Wholesale changes were brought in. Even the preamble was changed, which Arshpreet quoted. So who is really for the Constitution and against? History is not so kind to Congress here.
Shivani, first of all, there are few things politicians and political parties don't tell, and this needs to be remembered. First of all, entire concept of reservation, it's not cast in stone. It is not something sacrosanct. It is not something, sacred. The framers of Constitution had thought it to be just for temporary measure for 10 years. So from 1950 to 1960, it has been 80 years, almost 80 years now, that the reservations have been, continuing. In last time when, reservations were extended for 10 more years in 2019, 104th Amendment, the, reservation for Anglo-Indians was removed. So this has a scope. I mean, if party is in power, then they have a potential to tweak it, bring one, social group or other. The reservations in India, reservation policies have been very highly erratic, whimsical, and lacks that kind of.
No, so actually, Rashid Kidwai, I agree with you. You're making a very progressive statement that there should be a debate and discussion on reservations. They were never meant to be unending. But the fear and paranoia that the Congress is spreading today is exactly the opposite, that, they're going to go away tomorrow.
Shivani, both sides are doing it. There is one side is saying that, if their opponents come to power, they will, tweak it and they'll give a part of reservation, benefits of reservation to Muslims and other, minority communities, religious-based sort of thing, and which is, sort of a kind of, fear-mongering, because as per law, that is not feasible. Wherever Muslims were getting benefit of reservations or are getting, is it because of their socio-economic backwardness. The Karnataka example also was introduced in 1977, and it continued several times when the BJP was in power, either as directly or as a coalition partner. Mr. Bomai removed it just at the fag end of, when he was demitting office in 2023. So it was clearly an afterthought. And second, the other side, the Congress is doing this, that because the BJP has given this slogan of 400 par, they are, spreading this kind of thing that if BJP comes to power again, then they'll tweak it and they'll perhaps remove reservation. And since RSS other elements have said this. So both sides are doing it. There is a political
That
design
is what
in it.
politics is. I agree with you there. But you know, Ashpreet, the reality also is the BJP has had the power to make constitutional changes even in their last 2 terms. Amit Shah says we did have that power. We did it to remove Article 370 and other things that we did not like, and they challenge you to talk about those issues. So this whole 400 power and you know that you need 2/3 majority to change the constitution, that seems to be a stretch. The BJP has had the power and the majority to change constitutional provisions.
And therefore, they have tried their level best to undermine the constitution. I cited a couple of examples in the first segment as to how they have undermined the constitution, undermined the Supreme Court. Going further, on April 15, 2024, the Bharatiya Janata Party's MP from Faizabad constituency of Uttar Pradesh, Lalu Singh, said that we need 2/3 majority to amend and rewrite the constitution.
No, but what's wrong with that? He didn't say reservations will go. You've amended and changed the constitution too.
No.
Under
Mr.
Congress.
Modi. No, I'll answer your question. I'll also connect like Mr. Modi connects with the past, with the patterns. So like the examples that I gave you, that they're against reservation, no caste census done, and the statements given by the RSS leaders, I'll come to that as well. Let's look at the second statement given by the BJP leader on the March 10th of 2024. BJP MP from Uttara Kannada, Anant Kumar Hegde, has said that the voters should give 2/3 mandate to the Bharatiya Janata Party in Lok Sabha to amend the constitution, and UGC under the Narendra Modi government had proposed vacancies reserved for SCs, STs and OBCs. Candidates should also be declared unreserved. And not just that, in 2017, Bharatiya Janata Party's MP, Anant Hegde, he also made another statement. He said it in an open forum that we have come to change the constitution, and the Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders should also answer this question.
Okay. So you're saying just like the BJP has made 2+2, Syed Zafar Islam, the Congress and the opposition is also free to do. You look at what the BJP's core messaging has been. It's been that, the Congress is going to take away from a certain group of people and give to a certain group of people. Now, if you can spread fear and paranoia on that, it's fair game for the opposition too.
See, what we have seen in the past, what they have done, that's what one of the panelists was also talking about. When they had the flexibility, they did it and violated the basic principles of reservation, because it should not be for any religious group, but still they went ahead and did it. Again, now the SC/ST commission is in place, so they cannot do that because state will have to come back to the commission to take their consent, and what the flexibility they had in the past, which they misused, as Desh Rashid ji said, that they no longer can do it. Having said that, the Honorable Prime Minister has very candidly said, these are spread. They are spreading. They are spreading for last 10 years. They have failed miserably. They will fail miserably this time. Same thing. You just pick up during Bihar election. They did the same thing. During 2014 election, they did the same thing. During UP election, they did the same thing. During Madhya Pradesh election, they did the same thing. And what is the result today? Every election, Bharatiya Janata Party not only won with a better margin, handsomely, and Congress was absolutely on the mat.
Okay, Ashpreet has one second. Ashpreet has a question for you. Very quickly, Ashpreet. 10 seconds, then you respond.
Thank you.
10 seconds, then you respond.
Yeah, I have a question for Mr. Zafar. Mr. Zafar should just tell us, does he condemn the statement of RSS publicity chief Manmohan Vaidya, who said that he is opposed to continuation of reservation and that this is against the principle of equality? And does he condemn or welcome Mr. Mohan Bhagwat's statement? He said in an interview to RSS mouthpieces Panchajanya and organizer in September 2015, allegedly the mouthpieces, and he stated that we need to review reservation and review the means of the formal process before we terminate it.
Okay, let him respond.
Was this a statement made today, yesterday? It was made in 2015 and 2017. And that's why I said it, the outcome. 2017 UP election, massive victory. We were trying to mislead the people. See, the statement coming from the Honorable Prime Minister, who heads the government, and what did he say? He said there absolutely no headroom or scope to change the constitution or bring amendment in the constitution or do anything with the reservation.
Do you welcome the statement or do you condemn the statement?
And have faith in his leadership.
Do you welcome or do you condemn it?
They have faith in his leadership.
Okay, that's the point. There are statements that are being made by many individuals, including the inheritance tax statement by Sam Pitroda, which landed the Congress in a bit of a soup. But is that really the debate which is resonating on ground? I want to go back to Rashid Kidwai with that question. Is it going to be development versus this esoteric, saving democracy pitch? Which one is going to work? As Desh Ratna Nigam says, actually people are not concerned with this esoteric debate. They've seen this for last 10 years. What they want is real development. So it's going to be real issues on ground or the rhetoric?
My dear friend, Mr. Desh Ratna Nigam seems to be convincing himself by saying that there is nothing is there. If there is not there, then why are we talking about it? Shivani, fact of the matter is that, there are double standards that political parties observe. Here they are saying that, SC/ST reservation is not being extended in Jamia Millia Islamia and AMU. I want to ask Mr. Zafar Islam, who's funding, Jamia Millia Islamia and a legal Muslim university? The central universities, they get funding from HRD, Education Ministry. Who's saving, preventing government from removing, word secular and socialist from the Indian Constitution preamble? It's been 10 years, so you don't do it when you are in power, and when you are facing election, then you say that when we come to power, we'll do this, we'll do that. So there are a lot of double standards are there, and Shivani, because these issues find traction for or against, that's why they're being talked about. So you are right, as a picking this issue for a debate and asking. I think people will give their verdict on June 4th. But to say that it is not a issue, then why are two sides talking about it? Politicians don't waste their time.
Yeah, no, actually, you've got a good point there, Desh Ratna Nigam. You've been in power for 10 years. You can, as the BJP now, no longer create fear because of what used to happen in a government, 10 years ago or till 10 years ago. The BJP has to talk about what, if it so strongly believes in some of these issues, like the word secular in the preamble or socialist or whatever else, or reservations. What have you done to correct the situation?
Well, Shivani, let me tell you, BJP, I believe, you have a BJP spokesperson out here, but to supplement him is that BJP has its own priority list, which is the development. Socialism would remain. Socialism, as long as the poverty is there in India, socialism works. Welfare socialism will always be there. It has always been there, and all BJP's policies are directed towards that end, whether it is distributing ration to 80 crore people or mudra loans or various schemes of the. So far as secularism is concerned, it is not mentioned inside the constitution. So effectively, it is not a part of constitution. It is only a part of the preamble brought through a back door in 1975, when the entire opposition was absent in the parliament. And let me tell you, who gave the OBC reservation to this country? It was VP Singh. Please understand, with the support of the then BJP, it was not the Congress. So if they want to do OBC politics, they must go back into their own history.
Okay.
And if you look at the entire scenario today, development is the only agenda. However, if you talk of inheritance tax and throw a full toss to the Prime Minister, he will hit it for a 6, which he did. And they have been throwing things on a platter to the Prime Minister, which being in competitive politics, he will utilize to the hilt, to the maximum advantage for the BJP.
All right, I have to leave it at that. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. Certainly, this election is also going to be a bit of a referendum on exactly what kind of issues work on ground. Is it fear and envy that can work, or is it just going to be vision of delivery? Coming up after a short break, though, we have another big debate coming up, and this is the frenemies in Bengal. TMC versus the Congress yet again in the state. Are they going to end up impacting the India bloc chances nationally? We'll get you more in just a bit.